Have you ever apologised for something while already knowing you would probably do it again? Not because you wanted to, because somewhere inside the struggle had already become stronger than the resolve. A brother bows his head during prayer. He feels guilty. He means every word. 3 nights later, he's back in the same hidden behaviour again. And that's the shift now spreading through the congregation. Not merely sin, not merely temptation. The growing separation between guilt and transformation. A married sister deletes messages from another publisher before the meeting starts. Those messages contained existential sexual content. The guilt's real. The attachment is stronger. A brother publicly comments about moral cleanness while privately arranging another accidental encounter with someone else's wife during ministry arrangements. An elder conducts a shepherding visit involving sexual misconduct while privately carrying his own hidden compulsions nobody else fully sees, but they're there. The congregation still appears morally structured. And that's the contradiction, isn't it? The standards remain. The behaviour keeps deteriorating. Inside performance-governed religious systems like the Watchtower operating through kingdom halls and by their propaganda, conscience can slowly become exhausted. People still know right from wrong. They simply stop believing they can overcome what is consuming them. The Watchtower self continues presenting righteousness. The real self increasingly negotiates with sin. Another emotional affair develops inside the congregation. Another marriage becomes emotionally hollow. Another private conversation crosses boundaries. Another hidden fantasy becomes a secret attachment. Another confession occurs. Another cycle begins again, and the atmosphere changes again. Publishers no longer wonder whether sexual immorality exists. They're in it themselves. They quietly wonder how widespread it has become. A husband starts checking his wife's phone more often. A wife notices unfamiliar emotional distance in her husband. A brother avoids looking at another publisher because both know something inappropriate has already developed beneath the surface. And the room it all sounds spiritually clean in the congregation and at the Bible studies. But the private lives of these Jehovah's Witnesses increasingly is not. The Watchtower Bible and Tract Society repeatedly reinforces moral cleanness, sexual purity, faithful marriage, congregation discipline, organizational loyalty, and as evidence of spiritual safety for the Jehovah's Witnesses. Yet repeated concealment gradually weakens the conscience itself. The scriptural witness enters the fracture directly. 1 Corinthians 6:18 calls believers to flee sexual immorality. Galatians 5:19 through 21 exposes sexual immorality, impurity, sensuality, jealousy, and rivalry. And Psalm 51:10 cries out for inward renewal rather than outward appearance. The final prayer ends the meeting again. People smile on the surface. Families leave what appears to be together. A brother opens his phone before he starts the engine. A sister checks whether a message has arrived. And somewhere beneath the carefully maintained Jehovah's Witness spirituality, the congregation begins discovering that guilt alone cannot stop corruption when the conscience has stopped changing behaviour.